Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Bramble Fox. And for this layout I'm using the new Showtime collection that's in the shop. I'm also going to be using Fox Dies 14 and also Fox Dies 20, which are the long dies that you'll also see there in the shop. So I really love the idea of a Showtime title. I'm somebody that really likes a musical and a theatre play. So I went through my phone and I found 6 photographs from shows taken recently. And it's not until I printed them did I realise they're all different colours. I was thinking, how would I scrap photos that were all different colours? And I thought, embrace it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to use this mixed media background from Vicki Boutin as my start. I've brought in this die, which is a film strip, and lots of bits of coloured cardstock from my stash. And I've decided I'm going to place the title at the bottom and have the mass there on the left. So I've got a kind of an idea where I want things to go. So I'm going to take the cardstock off and I cut all of these film strips, and I've picked them in similar colour cardstocks to go underneath each photo and on top of the coloured like watercolour on the paper. So they're not identical to the paint colours because I wanted you to be able to see them, and I did a couple of extra yellows, but I've picked the one that I preferred, so they're extra. I'll put them aside. I've decided I want the photos to pop a little bit more and to bring in a bit more of the black. So just with some plain black card, I'm going to matte all the photos. I'm also going to add some of the black cardstock behind the eyes and mouth of the mask. So I'm going to cut those little pieces to go into position. So I didn't realise how much I loved a musical until I looked back through my phone, and these photos are perfect for these titles because none of the photos really would be that great if they were printed bigger. So I like the fact that I'm getting to include 6 different photos on this layout. So I've got from the left, that's 6, the musical, then it's Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, then there's Hamilton there on the orange, yellow is Come From Away, green is Shrek, which I took my parents to, that's them in the photo, and the teal one is The King and I, which I saw recently with my daughter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to matte the photos to the black just with a bit of double-sided tape. They're not straight on because they're actually going to be layered, graduated across the page when I put them into position. So at least they're all stuck together at this stage. So I now need to start to think about sticking everything down. So I'm just making sure all the holes are empty on the edges of those film strips, and I'm adding 1 foam pad to the back of each photo, basically because I want to tuck the film strips in behind them. So I don't want to stick them down too much and I want a little bit of space to play. So I'm just going to overlap them in a bit of a staggered way. So I'm now going to just trim each of these film strips and tuck them in top and bottom. I want to make them all different lengths, and this is really easy to do because the film strip is narrower than the matted photograph, so that's going to work really well. And I'm going to overlap them a little bit at the bottom because the photos aren't straight, so the film strips aren't going to be straight. So really simple technique to make them a little bit longer and add a little bit more interest by having them all in different lengths. I'm really pleased with the way this layout is coming along now. I'm not going to stick these down just yet. If you've watched me before, you know it takes me a bit before I actually commit, but I think I quite like the way that's looking. I've made the ones at the far left and far right a little bit shorter, and the ones in between are a little bit longer. But as I say, they're not stuck down, so they may move a little bit before I get them into position. So I'm going to have a look at this bottom corner now, and I'm going to bring in, this is one of the long dies from the Fox Dies 20 pack, and I'm going to cut that to go along the bottom. I've decided to add a bit more black, and I cut that in black, and I'm going to just have that in position with the title above it, and one of the little individual masks, and I think I might add some stars as well. So I'm actually going to start to stick some bits in position, just a little bit of wet glue on the back of this, just to get that on that bottom edge, just get it into position where I want it with the title. I really recommend you check out all of these pieces and the new products in the store at bramble.fox.co.uk. There's stuff being added every month, plus you've obviously got the Fox Box and the Fox Box Plus, which you can get on subscription as well, and there are deals and incentives for people with subscriptions, so do check it all out on the store. So you can see I'm adding just a little bit of glue to these film strips now and tucking them into place. Because I've only got one foam pad on the back of each photograph, it's just giving me lots of leeway to get things in the right place without having to trim them particularly, and I can literally just lift the edges up and get them tucked in without getting a bit too messy with the wet glue. And I'm just trying to make sure I keep everything in line so the top and the bottom look like they are still joined, even though we know they're not. You won't see that when it's all in position. So not taking long to actually get these stuck in. And as I said before, I'm just going to overlap them a little bit. So they're only the colours. Obviously, I didn't pick what I watched to go with the colours, but you can certainly pick out the colours on the background in the photographs in front. So I think it does work quite well, and I think the film strip just really adds to that showbiz feel. And I'll just get that last one tucked into place. So I now think it's literally going to be just a few finishing touches once this final film strip is just stuck down there. Want to make sure that I get those masks in position. I'm going to use some foam for that. Once I've got the title in position, just a bit of wet glue on the back of that, very easy to stick the perspectives down. I'm going to use a couple of foam pads to get that one over the edge of the photograph, and then I'm just adding literally the bits and pieces. That's why I've cleared the desk. I've got this set comes with 2 black stars, and I've added some extra black and white stars from my stash, and I've also punched them in the colours of the film strips just to add those too as well. I think stars have got to go with showbiz, haven't they? So I'm just going to add them in, and I'm going to come back with some wet glue for the perspectives and some foam for the punched ones to get them in position. They might move a little bit as I finally stick them down, but I'm just making sure I've got a couple connected with each colorways, and some of them are then slightly different. They're from the paper choices that I didn't use, so I've already got it out, but it's quite tonal, so I'll get those all into position. So I think this layout is very much nearly there. I don't want to add any journaling or dates on the front because there's multiple dates. Obviously, I didn't see all these shows on one day. So I'm actually going to write my journaling on the back, which is a technique I use quite a bit because I don't have the best handwriting, but I do like normally to have a like who, why, where, when, and I will add that usually on a sticker, write it on a sticker because the back of the layout is a bit lumpy by this stage, and then I'll stick it on so in the future I'll be able to remember all the details. So here's the finished layout, and just showing you some of the depth. I do like a little bit of depth in my layouts. And here's the final image and some of the close-ups too. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Do check out the new products in store and those dies, which I've got a bit of a soft spot for. And we hope to see you here again real soon. Bye for now.